Hey guys, another double run week is on the horizon. Let's start with the ups and downs of the previous week.
So hello everybody, we here see the credit bank and the overperformance and underperformance from round 25. Let's go and select some perhaps good choices for the next round. Horton Tucker continues to increase its value and he's been on very good form lately, or I would say most of the year. So 0.6 more credits, expensive price, but he managed to do almost 30 fantasy points in just 19 minutes, so we stick with him. Then from this list, we have Miller Marketier on also very good form, great performances this year that lately are translated also in great results into fantasy. So he's also having around him, quality forward like Moneke, Nora, and perhaps when the centers are also playing quite okay, like Izundo did last time, helped him to gather a lot of fantasy points due to his all-around game. Now, if we have a look on the right-hand side, we have Watson on a great discount, almost a credit down. The reason we are thinking about Watson is mainly strategically the fact that Virtus and as well are the only teams playing on turn 2, so we wanted a name from that turn 2. If it's not Watson, perhaps there is Morgan as well. So with that said, we don't see anything else in this list, so let's move on to forward position. Here there are a little bit more, some more opportunities. On the very cheap side, we have Akele, and then if we continue a little bit more at 7.6, Kuruks continues to having a lot of playing time. You can see 25 minutes, so a very decent option at less than 8 credits. We have Mike on a very good stretch. We mentioned him last week and he's delivered, so we can continue to stick with him until the game is not good enough. We have also newcomer Angola having a back-to-back amazing game above 25 fantasy points. It's just 10.3. The first 2 games were convincing. Perhaps it's going to be a little bit more risky, but seems to be a great option for forward below the or around the 10 credits. And finally, as always, Vezenkov is the pick, no matter the price, no matter how expensive it is. Increased further his value. 21.1 credits, but you can see he managed to get 29.7, and that's quite common, to score something around 25. So Vezenkov always a good option. On the other hand, we see some huge names like Mirotic, Petrusev, or Musa, but probably we're gonna go with Moneke for the expensive offers here that they're on discount. Probably Moneke has a good matchup to bounce back. And then we have Rivers playing for Valencia and probably helping with the absence of Costello due to injury this double round week. So just 8.3 credits, perhaps he would have a lot of playing time and a good chance to stack up fantasy points. Let's move on to center position. Here we can see a lot of names that could potentially be a great fit. Let's start with something quite cheap. We have Zekiri for Partizan. It's a 7.7 credits, playing in Israel against Maccabi. We have Pradilla, also below 10 credits, 9.7. We think he will continue his good streak versus FS this week on the first part of this because it's a double round week. And we have Nibo, 12.3. We also think this matchup versus Baskonia is a good matchup for Nibo. And also we have Holmes here, been on very good form lately for Panathinaikos. When we look on the right hand side for discounts, we can see perhaps a slightly risky but worth taking the risk if you want something less than 9 credits. Fernando, 8.2 for a bounce back versus Maccabi. And of course Milutinov, he was back from his small time off due to the injury, the concussion, and now in just 19 minutes he had 15 fantasy points. We think he's gonna get back to rhythm and he's gonna start having good games. So small discount, still expensive, but another player that's worth its price. With that, let's now go and check how we did last week.
And last week we managed to get 178.5 fantasy points and gain 1.5 credits. This is the positive side, because we achieved this even though Hall had DNP, he didn't play. So technically we wanted from our senders, Oturo and Hall, give us a big boost, but we managed to get only 12 fantasy points. So it was something unexpected for this round, but Coach Obradovic gave us 10 fantasy points. Miller McIntyre delivered again, same as Francisco Vazenkov as always, and Mike. It was a solid pickup for us. And then of course Lee continued his good performances, and also Jessup didn't give us what we wanted, didn't give us at least 10 fantasy points. So from the bench, as you see, we just managed to get more or less close to 6 fantasy points. But considering all of that, we have some thoughts about the changes that you will see later on. But before that, let's see the coach of the round.
And for us, the coach of the round is Bartzokas, 8.9 credits for the coach of Olympiacos, the play at Dubai. In theory, they should, dominate the game and win because they're the strong inside. Of course, there are a couple of other options you could consider if you are risky. There is Katas from Maccabi with just 4 credit points that you could, build perhaps another team. We want to stick to the game or to the team that we think have the most probability of winning. So that gives away our coach. Let's see what else we have in our team.
And as you see, we go with Coach Barjoka. So also we wanted to bring in Morgan instead of Francisco, because we wanted a player for turn 2. As Bill mentioned earlier, there's only one game in turn 2, so we had to pick a player and decided to go with Morgan. Also because Edwards is injured at the moment, so his status is unclear for the double round week. And then we thank Hall. After this DNP, we didn't want to risk it anymore, so we tried several scenarios. To be honest, there are a lot of good options for the center position, but we decided to go with Nibo simply because his valuation is 12.3 credits, and that gave us and allow us to bring back Taylor from Valencia instead of Jessup. And all of that because we decided to go with Berzokas as our coach instead, for example, for Katash. So we kept Vazenkov, as you see. He's our captain for turn 1. And then turn 2, if needed, Morgan will be the captain. And the team, the rest of the players are the same. We kept Miller McIntyre, Oturu, Lee, Kaleithes. So we expect a good round. Also, we kept 1.7 credits. We didn't use it. And let's see what the outcome will be. Bill, any comment?
Yeah, we trade off Francisco, but we are planning to get him back potentially now after this round because he's having two preferable matchups after this one that they play against Monaco, Zalgiris against Monaco. We had also a couple of different scenarios. One was with having Katas as the coach and perhaps swapping Nebo for Milutinov, but we decided to stick in with Nebo's matchup with Baskonia and Barzokas as our coach. But for this or more tips, as usual, you can find us on Real Hoopers Hub website. Enjoy the first part of the round. Remember, it's starting quite early, 5 p.m. on Central European time. So be ready on Tuesday on time and enjoy, and we'll see you potentially midweek before the next round.
Yeah, guys, enjoy another double week and see you soon.